was saying that's cap. That's all. But I agree with some of the stuff Tammy said when she was talking about the responsibility part. And if a man is not doing it, but that's going to lead to a whole nother conversation because a lot of men and women just choose wrong. They choose with the physical, and they never go into what this person's background is, what their culture is, what their ideology is, what their goals are. So if the first attraction is physical and you're only superficial, meaning you look at the surface, you're gonna get ran through about 3 or 4 men before you wake up and realize I shouldn't think like that. Or you're gonna sleep with the wrong woman, she's gonna put you on child support because you didn't choose wisely. And I think that's where when it comes to black relationships they fail because we don't value marriage. Like we don't value marriage, and whether you have a common law marriage or a legal piece of paper marriage, we're not taught to value that because the biggest problem in our community is that most of us grew up in single homes. So being single and fucking is the norm. Like it's normal to just go out there, have random sex because we didn't grow up with our mother and father at the same time, whichever one you're missing. And so you go out there and experiment, and you haven't seen a household be run, and so you're doing trial by error. So that's why by the time you get 30, if you got 3 kids, this is male or female. If you got 3 kids and you're not still with the person that you had the children with, 9 times out of 10 you chose wrong because you didn't take time to actually understand what a relationship is because nobody taught you what the relationship is. So sometimes in conversations like these, they got to be blended properly. I wouldn't blame. Now I'm not trolling. Now I'm just being serious. If I was to say it properly, both black men and black women have failed at relationships. Period. Neither one really has a leg to stand on against the other at all. There's mistakes men have made in their leadership role. There's mistakes that women made in their submissive role. So the only thing you can do is just choose wisely. Our history, I won't be too much longer. Our history, if you just go back, if you're a woman and you're single, if you're a man and you're single or whatever, and you just go back 10 years of history, that should teach you. Just do the opposite of what you see on social media. Just do the opposite of all the evil shit that you see, and you're more than likely to have a great relationship. Before you sleep with that person in 2 weeks, have an argument with that person to see how their mental is. Find out if they were molested. Find out if they had their mother. Find out if they had their father. Find out what type of job they had. Find out all the things of their background before you go inside this man, or before this you let this man go inside you, or you take this woman on instead of having the sex first and figure out the relationship later. Because if the sex is good, you're gonna tolerate him whipping your ass because the sex is good. If the sex is good, you're gonna tolerate her putting you on child support or kicking you out and you having to come back in because the sex is good. It doesn't take a rocket science to have good sex. It don't. But it does take a rocket science to be able to actually maintain a relationship longer than 2 years, longer than 4 years.